do Peyton Pritchard since you just mentioned him. Peyton Pritchard, would you sell high on him now or keep him?
I think you could get something good for him. I mean, clearly this guy just offered me Jaylen Brown, so I think I'm going to categorize that as a sell high, even though I really do like him a lot this year.
I'm keeping him in a points league. I'm keeping him.
Wow.
In a points league, I'm keeping because I have Jaylen Brown.
Right. Okay.
So for me, it's like
you got the backup essentially,
right?
Like he's the backup for pretty much everybody except for the big men, right? Like
yes. Like if Tatum, this is the thing. I have Jaylen Brown, but also like if Tatum is out, Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard's stock go up.
Yeah,
same thing goes with Derek White, Drew Holiday. Those are probably more likely. So to me, like it would take a lot. I haven't been offered, but it would take a lot. And I'm curious what other people would think. Gradey Dick, would you sell high or no?
I'd hold now because we don't know what Scotty Barnes' injury looks like. I think dude said he couldn't feel his foot. That can't be good. And even if the x-rays are negative, like, I don't know, man. I'm bracing for...
I have them both on one team.
I'm bracing for an absence, so I would hold Dick for now. Hold Gradey for now. Hold Gradey. Oh man. Jokes write themselves, man.
Yeah.
They really do.
I shouldn't clip that. I shouldn't clip that, but I also should. With the context. That's
context matters, y'all. Context matters.
Yes. Jared McCain, another rookie. Well, Gradey Dick's not a rookie, but still, Jared McCain's a rookie.
I would probably hold Jared McCain because I think that the Sixers season is not going to go. It's not going to get that much better. And that top 6 protected pick is going to become increasingly more important the more that they lose. I'd hold on to him. I think he's actually can have some consistency with this rotation.
Would you trade for him?
Probably not.
Yeah.
He doesn't do enough outside of scoring in threes for me when Tyrese Maxey and Paul George are healthy. The question is, what if those guys are off the floor, though, and it's just Maxey and him? Yeah.
So I think there's a discussion there because Paul George is like, in terms of the injury scale, he's definitely above average. Like he could miss some time tomorrow.
100%.
He can
100%.
anything.
So we were talking about sell highs. There's one right there. I'd sell him immediately. He's had like 2 games of like 8 and 9 assists. The scoring's come back a little bit. This dude was a 3rd round value, so I would get rid of him for probably a 4th, 5th rounder if you could right now, just because I just don't trust the health.
Was not on my sell high list, but that's a good one. I would not. If someone's selling him, I'm not buying.
No.
Paul George. No, that's not happening. Unless I'm buying really, really low, but even then I won't feel great about it. Sell high, DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, I would sell him high.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's going to be on the trade. I mean, he's always on the trade block. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I don't trust that.
This is a no for me, at risk of leading the witness, but still. Evan Mobley.
No.
I get offers on him every week.
Hold. And I know he just sprained his ankle too.
Don't care. Keeping him.
Hold him as long as you can. The breakout is for real.
Yeah, I agree. Jared Allen, teammate.
I'd hold him too. I would just hold the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like they're a team that at least we'll see how many wins they get to. But, if they keep up this torrid pace, and they're staring down the history books, I don't know if they're going to rest their guys either. So, yeah, I would be holding Cleveland Cavaliers for the foreseeable future. I wouldn't trade any of them.
You could probably get a lot for Donovan Mitchell. And I thought he would score more this year. Because of Kenny Atkinson and knowing how he likes to use his guards as he did in Brooklyn when I covered them. Like, it's a very guard-friendly offense. But at the same time, like, his scoring is just not at the clip that I projected, but he's still, like, he's doing enough to where I feel like there's a potential where, like, somebody based on his name may give you a lot, I guess is the point. Eastern Conference Player of the Week, Tyler Herro, sell high or no?
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty substantial injury risk with Tyler Herro. Like, he's always played decently well, but the efficiency gains this year are just stupid. I mean, what he's shooting from 3, from the field, he's balling, which I think screams sell high.
Yeah, I agree with that. And generally, as somebody who's probably lower on him than consensus and actual Heat fans,
you might be able to get a really good player, 4th rounder type guy, just considering where you drafted him and how he's playing relative to that value gain. Like, yeah, you might be able to get a nice haul for Tyler Herro, for sure.
In a points league, because I don't think you do this in a category league. In a points league, would you sell him for Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, I would.
Not in a categories league, though. Or would you do it in categories league also?
I think there's a buy low window for Jaylen Brown. He hasn't been lighting it up. So I think that you're going to lose the efficiency a little bit, but I think you're going to be getting more rebounds, less assists. Threes are probably comparable. We'll see. But I think I would take the durability of Jaylen Brown over the durability of Tyler Herro long term.
All right, buy lows. I have a bunch. I have 10 here, and I may think of a couple others. Oh, I have one more sell high, actually. Norman Powell.
I wouldn't sell him high. I think his role is solidified, and we don't know when Kawhi Leonard's coming back. So as long as he's the number 1 option on offense, I wouldn't sell him. No.
Would you trade for him? Because I've thought about doing this.
I think now's a good time as he's going in and out of the lineup with this hamstring injury that he can't shake. Hamstring injuries are tough. I don't like buying hurt players, but I think that they're being particularly cautious with him for good reason. I would be interested in buying low now because this is the time before he goes off for 25 points in his next game when he's healthy. This is the time you get him while he's banged up.
Okay, buy low. We'll start with Jimmy Butler, who is in trade rumors now.
Nah, I'm good off Jimmy. No, don't do it. Don't trust it. The contract and Jimmy being Jimmy, he's an enigma. I think if you drafted him, you kind of just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Those are the breaks.
Yeah, I don't draft him. I would think about trading for him before the fantasy deadline, depending on where that situation is. That's probably as far as I'd go.
What situation could he go to where he wouldn't cede touches? He can't be the number 1 guy. Where would he go?
No, but I'm saying I still don't think they're really going to trade him as of now. But if they did, the 3 teams that were mentioned were Houston, Dallas, Golden State. He's taking a hit wherever. But in terms of buying low, could you potentially get him if he's in another situation for less than you would think just because of the name? If somebody's like, yo, I'm done with the injuries, he's older, and now he's like the 3rd option or whatever behind, for example, Luka and Kyrie, I could actually see that working out, especially in a situation where it's like, if it's him, Luka, and Kyrie and Clay are also injury risks. So it's like there are going to be games where if it's Luka and Jimmy, I'm putting them on the Mavs now for whatever reason. I don't even know. But Houston, I feel like is a feasible one. But I've heard Houston is less interested in that now than they probably were at another point.
I mean, Houston can get whoever the hell they want at this point because they got assets to move.
They have too many guys.
They got the league by the balls right now. They have their pick of the litter, and they don't even need to make a move for real. They're 3rd in the West right now.
They don't. They just play out the season. See how you didn't even make the playoffs last year. Just make the playoffs. See how you do.
They have a team option for Fred VanVleet. So you have a choice. You want to run it up, run it back. You can. If you don't,
right. And
here's the keys, young man.
You have Jalen Green's contract because you're going to trade him. They extended him because I saw the salary number and I was like, oh, that's a future trade piece. Yep. Him, Jabari Smith, that's the package. And they'll throw in somebody else. It probably won't be Amen Thompson unless the player is amazing.
Right.
It'll probably be something like that. Would you buy low on his teammate, Bam Adebayo?
Yes.
1,000%.
Absolutely.
Agree. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's not going to shoot 40% for the rest of the season, y'all. Come on. He's good.
Yeah. And on top of that, even when he has shot that, especially if you're in a points league or a categories league,
he's still going to give you the assists and the rebounds. That's what Bam does.
And he'll have games where he'll get only 1 stock, but he'll also have games where he'll have 3 steals and 2 blocks. LeBron James. Is the name too powerful? to consider this a buy low?
Yeah, I think it might be. Like, I think if you put LeBron on the trade block, like you're gunning for a top 35 player. I think that's going to be a hard sell.
Probably higher, honestly.
I feel like it's just a hold, but if someone was willing to sell LeBron for an affordable price, I would do it. Because I think the Lakers are going to be better than what they're showing right now. This is just a huge schedule rut. I think they're probably going to have to make a move in the deadline. I don't know what moves can really be made, but I mean, I don't know that this is going to be LeBron's last season, but he's playing pretty damn well. His scoring's down, but everything else he's still doing, the rebounds, the assists, still gets a steal. He's hitting threes. Like, LeBron's still a good fantasy player, so I'm not overly concerned about him.
Would you buy low on his teammate Austin Reeves?
Yeah, because like he's a player that I don't think anyone is like married to. Like, his draft stock wasn't that high to begin with, so you could probably get a reasonable deal for Austin Reeves. Like, is he a guy that I'm like actively targeting? No, but he's easily movable piece.
But if you have a Laker fan in your fantasy league like I do,
take advantage.
Hit him up.
Hit him up.
Because I wouldn't mind parting with him, honestly, especially because I have like some duplication anyway. So another guard, DeJounte Murray. Would you buy low on DeJounte
I don't even
Murray?
know. I think the buy low window might have closed. I mean, there was a couple of games where he was like not scoring efficiently, really bad shooting splits, but he's had the assists and the steals which is like always the thing that's really propped up his fantasy value, along with his rebounding at the guard position. He's been doing that really well. And now that Brandon Ingram's out, dude's about to cook even more. So yeah, if anyone's trying to get rid of DeJounte Murray, buy him immediately. I actually don't even care what the cost is. He's gonna cook.
Would you buy low on Desmond Bane?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Have them both.
Absolutely. Him and Bam are like my top dudes. I'm like, these guys are good. And for whatever reason, they just have this like, hey, I got to get out of my shooting slump. But once I get out of that, like, it's curtains. So yeah, I think Desmond Bane is starting to go in that upswing. He's getting more minutes now. I think in December, he's averaging over 30 minutes. Prior to that, he was only sitting at like 27, 28. And I think that's all by design. The Memphis Grizzlies haven't been able to stay healthy over the last couple of seasons. So yeah, this is the way that they're going to get him back. And now he's already starting to find his groove a little bit. So yeah, definitely get Desmond Bane.
Jalen Duren.
No. And it pains my heart. Pains me. Because
I drafted him then.
He was one of my breakout guys again. I think I've had him as a breakout 2 years in a row because I was like, yo, he's going to go off sophomore year. Oh, he's going to go off year 3.
I'm about to sell.
He is not going off, man. And I don't know when he's going to. I don't know what JB Biggerstaff's had enough. He's like, bro, I got a better chance of winning with Isaiah Stewart in the lineup for 20 minutes a game. So unless that timeshare goes away, I don't see how you could want to buy into Jalen Duren.
In a points league, somebody just offered to me. I have Jalen Duren, and they're willing to do like a 2-for-1. I guess they want to dump some depth or whatever the case may be. Kason Wallace and Najee Marshall for Jalen Duren. To which I'm like, I feel like
you might as well just hold Duren at that point. I mean,
yeah. The other was Wallace and Risa Shea, which was a little more interesting to me. But
it's more interesting, but I think I'd still just hold for where you drafted Duren. Just hold him. That's too low. There's a point of buying too low.
Yes, I would flip Duren for 2 players, depth pieces at this point. But I feel like it's got to be a little bit because my depth
at least one draftable guy and a waiver guy.
Yeah,
but like, don't give me 2 waiver guys that you picked up yesterday.
Yeah, because like I had, for example, I had a great time with Diabate from the Hornets. But it was time to part ways. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
So like that's what that Zach Collins when Wemby went down and that he flipped off an official. Like, what can you can't predict anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous. All right, a few more buy low candidates. Jamal Murray. This one's a little spooky for me. I don't think I would do it.
This is the window for sure.
Oh boy.
I'm going to say, yeah, I think I would buy low on Jamal Murray because.
What would you offer though?
You don't actually have to offer much. I mean, let me take a look real quick.
The shooting percentages, the splits are
Oh, his
down.
numbers
Yeah.
are not particularly
It's
great,
42-33. My concern is, and I may be weighing international play too much because people who follow this channel may already know, I love international basketball and Olympic basketball, World Cup, all that stuff. And he really struggled in the Olympics this year.
he did. I mean,
He
he's
looked
been
like
struggling
shit.
pretty much since the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah. So
So you're
it's
not
like
wrong in that.
it's a prolonged thing, and it has me concerned because, like, I mean, he's not young. I mean, he's not old, but he's not like super young. He's going to be
No, he's
28
not.
next year. So,
Mm-hmm.
and he's had big injuries in the past. So,
Maybe like, would you rather have Jalen Suggs or Jamal Murray?
Jalen Suggs, I think.
Hmm.
The steals are very like the
Yeah.
potential steals are very interesting, and also he has this window now without Franz and Paolo for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Paolo's going to be back soon, supposed to be. Would you rather have Tyler Hero or Jamal Murray?
Ooh. So
Sell
I think
high
that's
versus buy
so
low.
I think that's probably where I would go with it. Actually, I mean, that's a bold move, but I think that's the type of sell high, buy low that I think is reasonable. Like if a fantasy manager saw that, he'd be like, "Oh, okay, all right, I'm gonna think about that." Versus like the get the fuck out of here.
That's an interesting one. If I don't know who I'd rather have long term this
It, it
season.
it definitely depends on like your roster build. Like if you're punting field goal percentage, for instance, or you're not even punting, you don't know what punting is. If your field goal percentage sucks, it's not going to hurt you that much to get Jamal Murray into your lineup. However, Tyler Hero's been doing everything very efficiently and across the
Yes.
board. So like
Yes.
he's not hurting you in any way. But
No.
I do see that there's an avenue to be taken if you want to lean into what you're bad at and what your strengths are. Because Jamal Murray will still give you points, he'll still give you assists, he'll still give you threes. The free throw percentage is fine, and in a points league, like he's still good. Like he'll still put up well over 30 fantasy points per game. So I actually don't feel like the gap between them is not that significant in points leagues. And category leagues, I think that there's some upside and room for growth where, Jamal Murray hitting that standard that we've seen in years past. He may not be that, but he's still a decent fantasy player.
God, we're at an hour. Didn't even know that. All right. Two more. Buy low, Zion Williamson.
No, I'm debating cutting him in a points league right now. That I only have one. I only have one IL, and like I got issues, man. I got deeper issues. I got to throw Jamal Murray in there now. I got to throw somebody else in there. So like, nah, I mean, he might be cut bait.
This is the one for me because I was offered him and I thought about it, but I ultimately passed.
No, don't.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh,
would you buy low on Tyrese Halliburton?
I'm not.
It does not look great.
I'm not buying because until we can figure out what's going on with the home road splits, not interested. And
he hasn't been the same guy since last NBA Cup.
No, and there's rumors that like he's got like a back thing that he's working through. He hasn't really been too transparent. No one's been transparent about what he's dealing with. He's just pushing on, which I respect him for. But that doesn't mean I need to trade for you in fantasy. So if I'm the person that has Tyrese Halliburton, I would wait till he has a 3-game homestand. He balls out in game 2, and then you sell him because I can't trust it for the rest of the season to what we're seeing.